Agriculture is a sector that engages 70% of Rwanda's population and contributes significantly to the country's economy. However, production is yet to meet required levels. With increased number of hectares of plantation and timely distribution of inputs in the 2019 agricultural season A, there is hope for better yields.
This is the wrong rain season that we have. It starts normally in September, and maybe the harvesting time may be December and January. It is the wrong season that we expect a very, very high production, and it is also a season where we have the majority of crops that are planted, and we expect a huge production, as I said. Normally for this season, we have a normal distribution of rain, and the distribution pattern takes time so that the crops on the ground don't really suffer from drought or from other climate change challenges. We expect a huge production, shifting from the amount, the number of hectares we have been planted last year, just adding a couple of 50,000 hectares for different crops. This one will give hope that the production, of course, evaluation of production will come once the harvest is near the time to do it.
Back in March and April of this year, we did a demand forecasting exercise where we estimate the demand in the markets that we work in, and we would start placing orders for seeds and fertilizer. Then the import process begins, and in June we do an ordering exercise where farmers across the country place their orders for inputs. And every day we're loading trucks and sending out deliveries to within walking distance of farmers' homes. So we're in the middle of 990 distributions, and that's the final step in the process where farmers come to pick up the seeds and fertilizer.
These packages contain inputs such as fertilizers and seeds that are being distributed to farmers across the country. As the agricultural season A gets underway, the government is partnering with stakeholders to avoid late delivery of seeds, which affects productivity, according to farmers. When we get inputs on time, we plant early, and when the dry season comes, the effects are not too damaging. There is also a trainer in each cell who teaches us on use of fertilizers, land preparation, and knowing the right quantity to use. We didn't use improved seeds before, but since we joined the Tubura program, we acquire seeds and get trained on how to use them, and production has improved significantly.
Planting tends to begin around the middle of September, so it's really important that seeds and fertilizer get out on time. If you have late seeds or inputs as a farmer, they're no good. So the only good inputs are those that arrive on time. So that's why we're working so hard to get them out quickly. If they don't have the seeds or inputs that they need on time, they're likely to come up with a different solution. So plant something that they've saved or something that they bought off market, or not use inputs, which leads to a lower harvest.
From July to end of August, we are focusing on input availability, input distribution. So I'm talking about input distribution, I'm saying seed, mainly seeds and fertilizers, improve the seeds. We are intensifying mobilization for farmers because we have got a drop of rain in the last weeks. And then we have, the farmers have started land preparation. So we are increasing awareness so that the farmers can finish land preparation as soon as possible, and then planting can start.
In the previous seasons, farmers reported big losses resulting from heavy rains and diseases that devastated thousands of hectares of crops across the country. The government, in conjunction with stakeholders, has set up strategies to mitigate such losses in the incoming season, which include better land preparation and increased use of improved seeds.
twahuye nacyo icyo kiza twahuye nacyo cy'imvura ku buryo umusaruro warahombye pe.
We experienced heavy rains and incurred heavy losses. Sometimes landslides washed crops away, and those that remained were destroyed to the extent that we did not get even the half of our normal produce, and the whole country was affected. This year, the rain was just unbearable. To make matters worse, fall armyworm invaded our crops in this region, and as I speak, we are yet to get the solution as it keeps ravaging our crops such as maize and beans.
Protecting the catchments, soil erosion control. Farmers, when now we are planting, we do the same to make sure that we reduce the intensity of runoff so that as we have a normal distribution of rain, we expect not highly having the same problems as we did. We have also started to make available the product that should be insecticide that should be used in case we have this kind of disease.
We test all seed to make sure that it germinates, has good vigor. We do that both at international labs as well as our own labs. So before anything leaves our warehouse, we can be 100% sure that it's of good quality and it will work. Second, we do a lot of variety trials. So adapting the right seed to the right conditions. Here in Rwanda, there's a lot of different microclimates. Finding drought-tolerant seeds, seeds that work in high altitudes versus mid-altitudes is an important part of the work that we do. And so early on we'll do variety trials through our research, but then also we'll make recommendations and train farmers on what's the best variety for their location. That helps mitigate some of the challenges of climate. We also offer a crop insurance package. So in the worst case scenario that harvest is affected, the clients that we serve are covered by a crop insurance that protects against weather and disease.